How's it going, everybody? I'm here to recount the second part to my first date story. Before I get into it, I just want to mention a couple things. Recap the first video I posted my first date where I got invited to the movies. Ended up in the city. I forgot to pay the girl. I texted her, "Hey, I forgot to pay you." I never heard from her again. Just wanted to say that she was a really pretty girl. She seemed really cool and nice. So I hope she's doing great, and I wish her the best. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I forgot to state or include that on my way to the date, I made a number of calls to friends trying to get some advice, calm my nerves, and I forgot to mention my good friend Charlie Arriola. He called, he answered, I called, he answered, and he was very helpful, giving some good advice, and namely, to be myself. Um, with that said, let's get into what happened next. So then I'm texting the girl. I texted the girl. I get to my car. I'm in the city. I live in Marin, so I have to drive across the Golden Gate Bridge. So it was about 11:30 at night at this point in time. I felt that the night was still young. I didn't want to go home quite yet and my night the way it ended. So then what I decided to do is get on the app again and hit up or send a message to this one other girl that we had been messaging back and forth for like a week or so. Um, the conversation before I got back on it had ended. Um, her asking if I ever, again, this is the second girl, her asking through the app before I got on it again if I had ever came to the city because she lived in the city. I had said no, I do not. Last time I was there was just last weekend. It was a housewarming party. Um, I went to that, and prior to that, the last time I was in the city was a month before then. So no, I did not go often. So going back to where I'm at, I'm in my car. I'm driving, getting close to Golden Gate Bridge. I get on the app. I message that one girl, and I say, "Hey, I'm in the city. Just trying my luck, no expectations, to see what happens." Next thing you know, she messages me back. "Really? What are you doing in the city?" So I told her, "Oh, I came to the movies with a friend, and um, I came to the movies with a friend." And she asked, "Oh, really? What movie theater did you go to?" And I said, "Oh, I went to Alamo Drafthouse." Um, at some point, she asked or mentioned that she was at a bar. She was by herself having a drink, and she asked me to join her. So I agreed. I told her to send me address. She sent me, she sent me the address. She sent me or told me that she was at 24 Street Bar. I think what it's called. Never been. So then when people send you, again, we're not texting, we're messaging through the app. But when people send you an address or directions, hyperlinks, so you're able to click directly on the phone and it goes to Google Maps or Apple Maps directly to get you that. So that's what I did. 24th Street Bar. Click. I'm on my way. I look at the TETA. It told me I'd be there in 15 minutes. So I let her know I'll be there in 15 minutes. And I'm driving and I'm going. And then I realized that GPS is taking me to this really interesting road, uphill, curvy, um, but it's residential. Didn't make sense. I was supposed to be heading to a bar when it hit me. And it hit me right after I was up on the hill and they gave me a really nice view of the city, right? Really nice view at night. And it hit me that I had entered 24th Street. So the whole time that I was driving, GPS was taking me to 24th Street, just a general street, and not 24th Street Bar. So then I freaked out a little bit, had to laugh about it. I thought it was funny. And I said, "Please, God, let me be close. Please, please let me be close." So then I got on Yelp. I looked up 24th Street Bar. Thank God it was named 24th Street Bar. I found it, and that was only 5 minutes away. So I rerouted. I headed in that direction. I pulled up. It was plenty of parking immediately outside the venue. I didn't want to park right in front because I thought it would be weird. Uh, Thinking ahead, leaving the bar, like having my car right in front of the door. So I parked like a short block across. I texted her, "Hey, I'm here. Just so you know, I'll be the guy wearing a Dodger hat and a flannel shirt. If I walk in, you don't like what you see, it's okay. You can walk away. No questions asked. It's all good. Um, and I went inside. So then when I'm walking inside the bar, it's really cool vibe, dim lights, music is really good. There's this girl sitting towards the end, small place, but towards the end of the back at the bar on the left hand side corner. She has her back towards me, blonde-ish hair in the light. And I approached her, hey, it's me. Hey, and, she got up. We gave a hug. So mind you, in the last video, my first date, I was going to, or I shared that I was going to shake her hand, but the girl was really nice and gave me a hug. So at this point, the second date, the same night, I made sure I went for a hug because I knew what to do. Uh, just again, word of advice, anyone going out there meeting people, going on first dates, always go for the hug. So I did. We talked for a while. So at this point, it's probably around midnight. And we're talking. She's having a beer. I get a beer. It was my second beer of the night. The only beer I had prior was at the movie theater with the other girl. And it happened to be a really Pliny the Elder beer, a really special beer that's made out here in where I live, and I've never had it. I've chased it down before, so I thought it was pretty cool that without having to search for that beer and going to this bar, me and this girl that was not planned, I ended up across this beer. Anyway, I had a beer. Conversation was good. I was facing her. She was really, really pretty, really attractive. Had really, really pretty eyes. And I'm just like this, what I'm doing right now. I'm just listening to her, and then I'm talking and telling my stories. I ended up getting comfortable in sharing my embarrassing story. I won't get into it now. Maybe I'll make another video to recount that story. It's really embarrassing. Something that took place one of my first times visiting the city when I was younger. But we hit it off. And you don't have to believe me, but it got to a point where I knew that she felt the same way. Maybe just body language, you can tell when someone's into you and the feeling is mutual. I had a feeling that she was going to invite me over to her place, and she did. The way she was really smooth about it. I remember she asked if I had driven. I said yes. That was early in the conversation, so when it was getting late, maybe around 1:50, some minutes before 2 o'clock where they stopped selling beer. Mind you, I got there around noon, around midnight, so I was there for like 2 hours just talking back and forth. And she's like, hey, well, we can go to my place. What do you think if we go across the liquor store and buy some beers and go to my place? I was smiling the whole time because I saw it coming, which is good and exciting. I had no expectations. Here I am talking to a pretty girl at the bar, and I just got invited over to her place. So we're walking over. There's a liquor store at the corner, and something I realized recently in the city, there's almost a liquor store in every effing corner. Anyway, we walk into a liquor store. She gets some Hazy's IPA. I never had them before. When we're in line, she's talking to me, telling me something, and all of a sudden I stop her mid-sentence. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh my God. You have really, really pretty eyes. And the reason I said that, we were at the bar earlier. I mentioned she had pretty eyes. But the lights were dim. At the liquor store, it was really bright lights, lighter than this right here. So then I just got a really good look of her eyes, and I had to tell her. So I did. I thought that made her smile. We're in line. We buy the beer. We go back to her place. We walk up to some stairs. We go to what I think is a living room. She told me to turn on the TV and put on Netflix. Now, in my head, again, this is my first, well, technically my second date, the same night. I was gonna put a show that we can watch, but she said to make sure to put something that we can just have in the background. So in my head, I'm like, okay, really, all right. So I didn't spend that much time browsing through Netflix like I usually do, trying to figure out what to watch. I didn't go through that. I just put on what I know, which is The Office. Love that show. So I put it on really low, and we kept talking. Next thing you know, it's about 4 or 5 in the morning, and I was really into this girl. I felt she was into me, so I stopped her mid-sentence. I grabbed her by the chin. I gently turned her my way, and I made a move and I kissed her, which was really nice. And then something interesting happened. So what she said to me was, "Hey," and I'm paraphrasing, of course. And this is what I remember. Um, just so you know, I have one rule. If we're gonna get involved, I want to make sure that we're safe and that you're clean. So I prefer if you get tested and you show me the results. And when I heard that, I I was not surprised. Actually, I was very very impressed with what she had to say, and I respected that fact. So then I didn't try. In my head, I wasn't gonna try anything funny after that, and we just kept talking. Next thing you know, it's 6 in the morning. I look at the time and I tell her, you know what? I'm really digging this conversation. I'm having a good time, but we gotta go to bed. Um, I can sleep on your couch. No worries. You let me know. Um, so what happens next? Um, I end up sleeping the night over. Nothing happened. I didn't try to move. Um, I respected her wishes. So then the next morning, I woke up. I had to go and be somewhere. I told her, I said goodbye, and I left. I left, and when I got outside to my car, sure enough, I had a parking ticket. So when I parked my car, I remember now, I made sure I looked at the street signs to make sure I was in the clear. And I thought I was in the clear, but I may have missed another sign that said there was street sweeping that started like at 3 in the morning on a Saturday, which is the weirdest thing. Anyway, I wasn't mad because this guy right here had just gone on 2 dates in the same night, someone who hasn't been on a date in so long. So I didn't care. I took the ticket, put it in the car, and I said, I'll take care of it after. I don't mind. I had a great time. Um, so I'll leave it at that. I think I left a lot of detail, but um, if you have any comments, thoughts, suggestions, feel free to share. Um, there is more to the story, but I think I'll be making another video for that. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you soon.